Two, by the way, did the Nets fold like a cheap suit or what? Oh, my God, people are going to be upset. We hired Udoka. Cutscene. We're hiring Jacques Vaughn. I still don't get it, man. I don't. We're never going to know what the hell Udoka did. I know there's insinuation, but there's no crime. We know there's no crime. And we know that it wasn't enough to fire him.
No.
So the Celtics suspended him. But then the Nets go to hire him. The Celtics aren't going to fight it. And the Nets get eviscerated in the public eye so badly they hire Jacques Vaughn.
Yeah, because I don't think the Nets need any more bad publicity. I mean, if Kyrie hadn't said what Kyrie said, maybe. But it's like, geez, guys, you're inviting more bad press? And it ain't like they don't cover the team in New York.
But it's also,
this ain't like here in Detroit where it would just get swept under the rug.
But at a certain point, what does any of it matter?
Nothing.
Like, we all think about it. Like, hey, man, we do the show. We do it to entertain the fans. Well, what does it matter to the teams? Like, whether it's papers, us, the blogosphere, the podsphere. You think the Nets care about bad press?
Yes, teams like people might want to hear nice things about them. You should know that. Say mean things, and they pick up the phone, and they call your boss, and they say stuff, and what about this? You're not being fair, blah, blah, blah. They want to hear nice things about their team.
All right, sorry to go off script there. My bad. Let's get to the pressing issue of our blessed 2-6 football team, the Detroit Lions, because I have a question. I can sense this weird ping pong match between Lions fans of I'm done, I'm out, I hope they lose all the time, to then, oh my God, they beat the Pack, we're 2 games out of a wild card, we could beat the Bears and be in the mix. Well, first of all, you're not in the mix at 3-6, but I'll let you dream. But I had a different question, because as I look at Lions and Bears, I look at 2 teams that are rebuilding. I look at a Bear team that traded Robert Quinn, that traded Roquan Smith, and has gone through this offensive renaissance where a month ago they couldn't score in a whorehouse, and now they have one of these oddly effective, explosive offenses where Justin Fields looks like a true weapon. So I started to think about it, and we spend all this time here talking about our rebuild. How in year 2, how can our defense look this way? Or in year 2, we don't know that we have a quarterback, or many of you want Dan Campbell gone. And then I juxtapose it with the Bears rebuild. That, for all intents and purposes, is year 1. Ryan Poles, the new GM, just got there. Whatever his name is, the head coach. He's got a weird last name. I almost said Funderburk. Lawrence Funderburk. What the hell is it? Pittsnoggle. Whatever the guy. What's the defensive coach they hired? His name escapes me. Eberflus. Yes. Matt Eberflus. The point is his first year.
Funderburk.
And they're both similar teams, except I want to know whose rebuild is more on track. Could I make a case that the Bears are more on track because they know they have a quarterback? Like, what Lions fan, what is the barometer for believing in a rebuild? If you take the Iser plan, the belief started by the very man that you hired. And then it was a plan and stacking sensible moves. Really good draft picks. Shrewd trades. A shrewd signing. And you stack them to where then this year they went in free agency, added some depth, added some pieces. But you believed in the rebuild based upon I have a GM I know is elite. I have a couple elite players in a guy like Mo Sider, in a guy like Lucas Raymond, and people are hoping Kenny's IKEA hero, Elmer Soderbergh, or whatever it is going to be that too. The point is, you have reasons to believe. Well, what reason do you believe in the Lions? We don't know if Brad Holmes is that. He doesn't have a resume. A lot of people want the coach fired, and you don't have a quarterback. People would rather go into the wilderness not even knowing who they're getting or if they're any good than have Jared Goff. Juxtapose it with the Bears. Now, they're going to have the most cap space in the league. Mm-hmm. They've traded players for picks and things, but they have a quarterback.
Right.
Justin Fields almost single-handedly won that game against the Dolphins. True or false?
True.
Okay.
I mean, he's player of the week.
So I'm asking a question here. Lions fan, can you separate your hatred of the Bears? And can we have a conversation that before we play this game this weekend, and you want to dance around and act like it's happy hour if you beat the Bears, are you even sure your rebuild's ahead of theirs? 248-539-9797.
I would say the Bears rebuild is at least a couple of years ahead of you, because with all the draft capital they now have, they can now get pieces around their quarterback in Justin Fields. But the bigger thing, Mike, is this. Not only do they have their quarterback, but their quarterback is getting ready to hit that controversial year 3, where you either are an NFL quarterback or you're a bum. You've had everything. We've waited to see if you're going to do this thing or not. It looks as if he's turning that page. That, not saying he's an all-pro, but you look at Tua in year 3, and I think Tua's going to be here for a while. I think that's going to be Justin Fields as a Bear. And now you can go into the draft thinking to yourself, with all your picks, okay, who are the O-linemen that we need? Who are the wide receivers that we need? We need running backs. Okay, maybe we just go out and get the best defensive players, because guess what we're not in the market for? We're not in the market for a quarterback. Whereas Detroit, I'll said it before and I'm going to say it again. Let's just say you take a quarterback in the draft in the first round. You have pick number 4 and you take some guy. You still have to wait and let that maturation process develop. And it's going to be a while. Well, Chicago's gone through that wilderness. They're on the other side. Next year, if you're a Chicago Bear fan, is about competing and trying to win the NFC North. Because you're looking at, okay, Green Bay is a disaster. Can Minnesota do what they're doing again and sustain that? You got the young QB. You got all the pieces in place. Where in Detroit, you can't go into the draft and surround your quarterback with anything, because you don't know who your quarterback's going to be. So you can't draft players that can help him be better. Okay, you got a quarterback with a cannon. You could draft receivers who can run fast. You got a quarterback who likes to dink and dunk. You can get possession receivers. You don't know yet.
So maybe the question becomes, do I put too much emphasis on the quarterback position?
No.
I think is a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it because, well, a lot of people are stupid.
I
Let's
don't
just call it what it is.
No.
If you don't have a quarterback in the NFL, you're not winning anything. Name a team that doesn't have a quarterback that's going to win anything of significance this year. And then conversely, I can name a team for you that's getting MVP caliber quarterback play, and it's been the single most important reason they've gone from dumpster fire to possible division winner, the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the Philadelphia Eagles, but it works for them too, right? If you don't have a quarterback, you're a team that's probably lining up looking for a quarterback.
If you watch that game last week, Justin Fields single-handedly made them a threat to win a game they really had no business winning. Their defense couldn't get a stop. But that position, now, ask yourself this. Is Jared Goff ever going to be that here?
No. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. That's why I say you're 3 years away, and the problem is Chicago next year, they've gone through that 3 years. And it was a lean 3 years. You lost some players that you probably didn't want to lose on defense. But now on the other side, you can go out there and you can replenish with all your draft picks. You don't have to worry about a QB. You can draft a bunch of defensive players. You'll control their contracts for the next 4 or 5 years, and you set yourself in place.
David, Bears or Lions rebuild? Which one you more comfortable with as we head to the game this weekend?
I'm more comfortable with Chicago. While we don't have the complete answer on Justin Fields, we have less question marks when it comes to the QB position in Chicago. And I agree with you, Rico, because you have to build around a quarterback, but you have to know who the quarterback is. Mm-hmm. You can't build around Goff because he's not the future in Detroit. And then because you can't build around Goff, now you have to wait on a quarterback, and you don't know what type of quarterback that will be.
Because, David, you look at what happened in Miami. All of a sudden, Tua's like, Tyreek's like, maybe I want to go play with Tua down in Miami. And look at the coordinator you got coming in. You know what? This may fit for me, where you may get somebody in Chicago saying, I like what the kid is doing. Maybe I want to go play with him.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. I've gotten to a point now. I can't count on DeAndre Swift being a real part of this rebuild. How many years in a row are you going to get hurt before I'm just like, you're not someone I can make foundational? And I look at the coach, and we know I'm not comfortable with the coach. So if I'm not comfortable with the coach, I know I don't have a high-level quarterback. And a guy who was a centerpiece a few months ago has had another devastatingly frustrating year injured. What exactly am I so sure of? And as Rico puts it, look, maybe 3 years sounds melodramatic to you, but for those of you who say, I don't want Jared Goff and we need to draft somebody, guys, do the quarterback grades. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, no sure thing. Justin Fields, no sure thing, but showing signs. Zach Wilson, awful. Mac Jones, awful. Trey Lance is dead. Oh, we should have taken Malik Willis. How's that look? He looks like a high schooler.
He does.
So if you take a young QB, I guarantee you ain't winning next year, and that means we're already out to 2024.
But see, I give Malik Willis an incomplete because he probably shouldn't be playing.
He's not ready.
Right.
Nowhere near ready. I agree with you totally. I'm making the point.
Yeah.
You might take a rookie, and a lot of people will say, well, take this guy in the third round. That's what it looks like.
No. Or how about, well, you know what? We already look bad. You might as well play the rookie. It can't get any worse. Yes, it can.
But then I can say, okay, what weapons would be around Goff, any quarterback here in Detroit? There's one guaranteed weapon I would say.
ASB.
That's it.
You traded Hawk.
Exactly.
Swift can't be counted on. And J-Mo, as much as I love him, has not played a single snap. It's not fair for me to tell you
exactly
what he will be. I know what I think he can be, but God forbid I'd like to see something on the field.
But that's why I say Chicago's ahead, because of what Rico said. It's just now you can, kind of answer some more questions.
Let me ask you a question. Hold
Yeah.
on, let's work for a second. This is interesting. Look at their skill players. And they don't have a single guy that is better than ASB, but Mooney, Claypool, Kmet, and the duo of Montgomery and Khalil Herbert with Justin Fields. Goff, whatever's left of Swift, Williams, ASB, J-Mo. Seriously. Now, your O-line, elite over theirs. But you get the point.
Right.
We're 2 off seasons into this, and I almost feel like the Bears on the fly are in a better spot.
But here's the thing. They could also, with their O-line, they can just go ahead and, with their draft picks, they can draft some O-linemen.
The money.
Yeah.
The money.
They can sign some and they can draft some. And all of a sudden now you have all new offensive linemen on the team.